Have you ever wondered why Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth? This icy enigma, named Antarctica, sits majestically at the southernmost point of our planet. Its name, derived from the Greek words anti and arctos, literally translates to opposite to the north. A fitting description for a continent that locks horns with the South Geographic Pole. Antarctica is an island of solitude, surrounded by the vast Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans. A unique feature of this icy wilderness is that it doesn't just border these three oceans. Since the dawn of the new millennium, the International Hydrographic Organization has introduced a new term for the waters gracing the southern parts of this frosty continent. South of the 60 degrees south latitude, these waters have earned the title of the Southern Ocean. Embracing the cold, Antarctica stands as a testament to the extremes of Mother Nature. Now that we know where Antarctica is, let's delve into what makes it so unique. Did you know Antarctica is the largest desert in the world? Many wouldn't classify it as such, but when you consider the fact that a desert is defined by its low annual precipitation, it makes sense. Antarctica, with its sub-zero temperatures, receives less than 2 inches of precipitation each year, largely in the form of snowfall. Now let's delve into the two types of ice that dominate this massive desert, the East and West Antarctic ice sheets. The East Antarctic ice sheet, the larger of the two, covers about 2/3 of the continent and is generally stable due to its high elevation. It's so thick that it buries entire mountain ranges, and so expansive that it's almost entirely landlocked. On the other hand, the West Antarctic ice sheet, although smaller, is of greater concern to scientists. Its base is below sea level, making it more susceptible to the effects of climate change. It's a dynamic, restless ice sheet, moving and shifting, constantly calving into the ocean to form massive icebergs. Speaking of icebergs, these floating giants are another unique feature of Antarctica's icy desert. They break off from the continent's ice shelves, vast, floating plains of ice that fringe the coastline. These ice shelves act as a kind of dam, holding back the flow of the inland glaciers. And then there's the Transantarctic Mountain Range, a colossal spine that slices the continent into east and west. It's a natural boundary that separates the two contrasting ice sheets. But Antarctica isn't just a barren wasteland of ice. It's an extreme environment that hosts its own unique climate and ecosystems. It's a place where life has adapted to survive in the harshest conditions on Earth, from microscopic organisms to the larger, more familiar inhabitants like seals and penguins. So, while Antarctica may be a desert, it's far from lifeless. It's a dynamic, ever-changing landscape that continues to captivate and surprise us. This icy desert is more than just a barren wasteland, it's a unique ecosystem with its own climate. Ever wonder why Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth? Let's delve into the icy depths of this question. Antarctica's bone-chilling temperatures can be attributed to a combination of unique factors. Firstly, let's consider Antarctica's high elevation. The continent is essentially a massive ice sheet with an average elevation of about 8,000 feet. This is the highest average elevation of any continent on Earth. And as we ascend into the atmosphere, temperature generally decreases. So the lofty altitude of Antarctica contributes significantly to its frosty climate. Next, we move on to the polar position of Antarctica. It's perched right at the south pole of our planet, meaning it receives less direct sunlight than any other place on Earth. During the winter months, it's plunged into complete darkness for about 4 months straight. This lack of sunlight prevents the surface from warming up, leading to a drastic drop in temperature. Then, we have the albedo effect. Albedo is a term that refers to the reflectivity of a surface. Snow and ice have a high albedo, meaning they reflect a lot of the sun's energy back into space, rather than absorbing it. This reflection further reduces the amount of heat the continent receives, making it even colder. Together, these factors create an environment so cold that it led to the lowest temperature ever recorded on Earth. This record-breaking low was a bone-chilling minus 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit, recorded at the Soviet Union's Vostok station in Antarctica in 1983. So when you think of cold, think of Antarctica. Its high elevation, its position at the South Pole, and the albedo effect all combine to make it the coldest place on Earth. It's clear that Antarctica's climate is unlike any other, but what about the life that calls this frozen desert home? Let's explore that in our next scene. What kind of life can survive in the coldest place on Earth, you might wonder? Well, the answer may surprise you. Despite its inhospitable climate and frigid temperatures, Antarctica is teeming with life, all uniquely adapted to these extreme conditions. Let's start with the most iconic inhabitants of the Antarctic, the penguins. With their sleek, streamlined bodies and dense layers of feathers, these fascinating creatures are perfectly designed for life in the cold. The largest of them, the emperor penguin, can weigh up to 90 pounds and stands almost 4 feet tall. These mighty birds have a unique adaptation. They can recycle their own body heat, reducing heat loss to the icy Antarctic winds. But penguins are not the only life forms braving the Antarctic chill. The icy waters surrounding the continent are home to several species of seals, including the Weddell seal and the crab-eater seal. These seals have a thick layer of blubber that insulates them against the cold. They're also excellent swimmers, able to dive deep into the Southern Ocean in search of food. And then there are the birds. Antarctica is a bird watcher's paradise, with species like the South Polar skua and the snow petrel making their home here. These birds have developed a range of adaptations, from feathered feet to keep them warm on the ice to sharp beaks for catching fish. But life in Antarctica isn't just about the big creatures. Beneath the ice, in the continent's lakes and soils, thrives a world of microscopic life. Tiny organisms known as extremophiles survive in conditions that would kill most other forms of life. They've adapted to live in the freezing cold, the total darkness, and even in the highly acidic or alkaline waters of some of Antarctica's most extreme environments. Antarctica's wildlife is a testament to the resilience of life on Earth. But what impact does human activity have on this fragile ecosystem? That's a question we'll explore in our next chapter. For now, let's marvel at the remarkable creatures that call this icy wilderness home. How have humans managed to leave their mark on the coldest, most remote continent on Earth? Our story begins with the intrepid explorers of the early 20th century. These daring souls ventured into the icy unknown, braving harsh conditions and the risk of never returning. Names like Roald Amundsen, Robert Falcon Scott, and Ernest Shackleton echo through the annals of history, their stories of courage and endurance inspiring generations to come. But the human narrative in Antarctica is not only about exploration, it's also about science. Today, modern research stations dot the icy landscape, staffed by dedicated scientists who brave the extreme cold to unlock the secrets of this frozen wilderness. From studying the climate history locked in layers of ice, to observing the unique wildlife that calls this icy expanse home, these intrepid individuals help expand our understanding of the world and our place in it. Yet humans have also left a less positive mark on Antarctica. The effects of climate change are increasingly evident in the melting ice and shifting habitats of the continent's wildlife. Emperor penguins, the iconic symbol of Antarctica, are particularly vulnerable, their breeding grounds threatened by warming temperatures and disappearing ice. It's not all doom and gloom, though. The Antarctic Treaty, an agreement signed by over 50 countries, has been instrumental in preserving this unique environment. The treaty prohibits any military activity, mineral mining, nuclear testing, and nuclear waste disposal. It also supports scientific research and protects the continent's ecozone. This agreement is a testament to the global recognition of Antarctica's importance. It's a stark reminder that even in the most remote corners of our planet, human actions have consequences. But it also shows that we have the power to protect and preserve these vital ecosystems. Antarctica may be remote and inhospitable, but it's a vital part of our planet that we must strive to understand and protect. Our interactions with this icy landscape tell a story of exploration, discovery, and responsibility. It's a narrative that continues to unfold, and one that we all have a part in shaping. So what have we learned about Antarctica, the icy enigma at the bottom of the world? This unique continent, a paradox of extremes, is the coldest, driest, and windiest place on Earth. Yet it's also home to a remarkable array of wildlife that has adapted to survive in such harsh conditions. Antarctica is essentially a desert, the largest ice desert in the world, with less than 2 inches of precipitation annually. Despite the seemingly inhospitable environment, it teems with life. Penguins, seals, whales, and a myriad of microscopic organisms thrive amidst the ice and snow. Human activity, both scientific and touristic, has left an indelible mark on this pristine wilderness. Yet it's the very remoteness and harshness of Antarctica that continues to draw us in, sparking our curiosity and thirst for discovery. Antarctica, the coldest and most remote continent on Earth, is a fascinating world of ice and snow that continues to captivate us with its mysteries.